Okay, so as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about Daniel Kevin Harris. Honestly, I wasn't even going to do a video on this by itself. I was going to wait until the police brutality video was written and filmed and put up for Deaf Awareness Month next month. But everybody wants me to do a video about this. In fact, one person in particular was adamant on me doing a video about this. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. What more could you say besides the fact, like, what the hell? Honestly. Okay, if for some reason you don't know, somehow you don't know, Daniel Kevin Harris is a man who's either 25, 28, or 29. No news report seems to get his age right. He was either visiting in Charlotte or living in Charlotte. He has family in Charlotte. That's about as much as specific as the reports got. And he was driving on I-485, and the state trooper was gonna pull him over. He was trying to pull him over for a speeding violation, and instead of Harris pulling over, he went and continued for 6 to 7 miles and basically had him on a speed chase, really. And I think that's one thing that the news reports won't tell you, is that yes, he led the police on for 6 to 7 miles even after the cops bumped into him. And people are going, why didn't he pull over? Why didn't he pull over? I don't know. I can't tell you that. I am not him, and we're never gonna find out the answer to that because he's been shot and killed, right? So, and all I can think about is the even bigger high-speed chases throughout California where the guy went out of his car just fine. But I don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened yet. There's no body cam footage that has been released yet, right? So, I don't know, to answer your question of why didn't he pull over, there could be a number of reasons. Maybe he was just freaking out, or he just didn't want to pull over, who knows. Obviously, you know, if it's dark outside, I don't know if this is a state-by-state law, but if you are feeling a little hesitant to pull over because you're not really sure if the cop is actually a cop, because, you know, we have some fakers out there, then, you know, you can pull over to a public area and, just to be safe, which I think is a perfectly acceptable, thing to do. 6 to 7 miles is a little much, yes, but I don't know. Anyways, really the point of this video, I'm not gonna pull this whole he said, she said, and blame Harris or blame a cop for whatever. Okay. Really, I'm gonna address this even more in the next video about police brutality. But really, this is bigger than just one person. I think that obviously, after what 9/11 happened, when Jade Bryan did her film about the victims of 9/11 and how people didn't notify the deaf people that were in the buildings to let them know that something happened and basically left them for dead, after the NYPD said to her face that they had zero training or zero proper training on how to communicate with people who are deaf and hard of hearing. After this, like Daniel's brother, I think it's his brother, said, there needs to be a change. You can't bring Daniel back to life unless you are a very good scientist. You cannot bring Daniel Harris back to life, but we can try to change the future. As far as communication with deaf and hard of hearing people go, something needs to change. Police need to be trained on how to communicate with deaf and hard of hearing people properly. I'll get into this in the next video, but there was a YouTube guy who was deaf, and he had a gun drawn on him at the ATM only because the police officer was trying to talk to him while he was at an ATM. For just like any other person normally would that wasn't trying to rob anybody, and he had a gun pulled on him, for crying out loud. And it didn't occur to the police officer or security guard, whoever, that he was deaf when he wasn't paying attention. Instead, the guy almost got shot just because he didn't hear him. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I emailed Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. I emailed the lieutenant, and I asked him, I was like, what training do you have? Have you had any training? Did it come from a hearing person or a deaf person? Because I think you should have information from both people, especially deaf people. There's no other person that knows how to communicate with us best than a deaf person, whether they are oral or not, or if they just use sign language. Obviously, deaf people have different ways of communicating and what works best for each person. Some of us talk, some of us sign, some of us do neither. So, I don't know, I don't really know what needs to be said right now. This video is not planned at all, so I'm shaking as I do this, right? So you'll have to forgive me for any random outbursts that may happen. The guy's funeral is happening as I film this, for Christ's sake. Fucking hell. Really, I don't know what all there is to say. There is a donation page for, Daniel. I linked that down below. I gave the family $20 or something. I gave the family some money, so it'll go to his service that's happening right now, and I think they're giving some of that money to help, you know, with new training for the police officers, right? I'm not entirely sure right now. The information is going to be down below, or on their UCAN page that will be linked, right? To the Harris family, I am very sorry for your loss. I don't know if you'll see this video. I hope you'll never have to deal with this again. I hope nobody will ever have to deal with this sort of stuff again. I don't know. I'm not sure. What else to say? This is a very troubling subject, right? Yeah, obviously. Just if any cops are watching this, if any future cops are watching this, you know, news stations, for crying out loud, you all, you need to take the information that we give you and learn from it and change things. And I was gonna say something and then I forgot what it was. We can't have another Daniel Harris, we can't have another Pearl Pearson, we can't have another LaShawn White, we can't have another Robert Kim. We can't have any more of that. I'll see you later, I guess.